Chat, you beautiful people. Okay, before I start ranting, let me go ahead and notify the Discord that we are live. Let me do that real quick, and then we'll start ranting. I have something that I want to tell you guys. Something I want to tell you guys. All right, there we go. So earlier I got on here and was like, you know what? What am I gonna do today? It's my birthday. I want to hang out with the community. I want to hang out with YouTube. I want to hang out with my Vacate Fear family, right? And that's what I did. That stream lasted about half an hour before I couldn't take it anymore because I was so tired and needed a nap, right? I don't know why, but I was like, guys, just can't do it. Just can't do it. Gonna have to have a nap. Guess what, chat? I didn't take a nap. But you know what I did do? I ate tacos. I ate like 3 tacos, and they were really, really, really good. I didn't need a nap. I just needed tacos. I've got my energy, right? I've got my energy. I feel like me. Let's go ahead and let's do an actual stream today. Let's go ahead and do an actual stream today. We are going to be talking about you have to cut yourself short. You have to cut the worry short, right? That is what we're going to be talking about today. I can feel it's going to be a good one. I can feel it's going to be a good one. Didn't need a nap, just needed tacos. So we're here, and we're going to knock this out. We're here and we're going to knock this out. What's up, Maddie? What's up, Arnold? What's up, Ghost? Yay, that's what you needed. That's what I needed, chat. I needed tacos. And by the way, I don't know why it's so dark in here. I'm literally using the same like using my second monitor like I normally do for like some lighting, and it's really dark. Don't know what's going on with that. I tried to mess around with my webcam settings and it just didn't work. So oh well. I guess we'll just have to deal with it. I'll try to figure that out later. Let's see, chat, real quick. I'm gonna pull the comments up on my end, on my second monitor here, so I've got those ready to go. All right, there we go. So, like I said, guys, like I said, today we're going to be talking about you have to cut your worries short. And you'll notice there in the stream title, I've got the word have to, right? And the word short, all caps. You have to cut your worries short. So, we're going to elaborate on that a little bit, and I'm going to give you some examples. I love examples. I feel like examples are some of the best ways to teach. So, that is what I'm going to be giving you today. A lot of examples on what it is to cut your worry short. And I've got a few notes here that we are also going to address, some things that I want to point out. Let me see. All right, all right. All right. Why I think it's Tuesday? I don't even know, dude. To be honest with you, what is it, Monday? I don't even know what day of the week my birthday's on. What do you know about that? Crazy, huh? What's up, Mike? I must have missed your comment there, dude. How you doing? Welcome. All right, chat. All right, chat. Let's see. We're gonna give it a few more minutes before we get started. But then at that point, we should be good to go. Monday. It is Monday, right? Taco Tuesday. No, it's Taco Monday. Taco Monday. Get a drink of water because we're about to get going. We're about to get going in just a second. About to get going in just a second. Looking forward to the stream, mate. Hey, it's going to be a good one. I can feel it. I can feel it. Happy birthday, broski. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my god, new episode. It's almost like watching episodes, isn't it? Alright, guys. Alright, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started. I didn't even put my starting soon up on the screen, so I guess we don't have to worry about taking that down. Anyway, what are we talking about today, Jet? Today, we are talking about you have to cut your worries short. Now, I'm just gonna start this stream, right? I'm just gonna jump into this stream with an example because, again, in my opinion, I feel like examples are the best way to teach. So I want to start this stream off with an example, right? And I'm not gonna use a cliche one. I don't want to use the heart attack one. I don't want to use any cliche ones, right? I'm gonna use one from my own personal journey. And I had a ton of thoughts, a ton of negative, intrusive thoughts that bothered me and triggered me and, pretty much wrecked me there for a bit. And I'm going to use one of those to start off with my example. So, back in the day when I was on my glorious sensitization recovery journey, um, I was plagued with all sorts of thoughts, and one of those thoughts revolved around going crazy. You guys know that, and I know that's kind of cliche in itself, but I'll get to my point in just a second. One of those thoughts and one of those main themes revolved around going crazy, losing my mind, going insane, right? And I would have these very vivid, they would be very vivid at times. Thoughts come in, and they usually with a picture attached, usually with some sort of mental image attached of me losing my mind. And sometimes they would get very detailed, and sometimes they would just be downright disturbing, to say the very least. Now, what I would do, and where I made my most crucial mistake on my journey, and again, you can apply this to any of thoughts that you're experiencing, but this was this was just one of many thoughts that I had. What I would do that was a crucial mistake was try to figure it out, try to solve it. So what that looks like is I'd have the thought, you're going to go crazy one day, or maybe, hang on, stick with me, chat. Maybe your thoughts are not or along the lines of going crazy. Maybe you're at the point in your anxiety journey where your thoughts are along the lines of, are you doing recovery right? Are you accepting right? Are you ever going to recover? Right? I told you I was going to give you plenty of examples today. Maybe your journey is something along the lines of health anxiety. Not so much mental, but physical, right? Am I going to have that heart attack? I said I wouldn't use that example, but I'm all about examples today. Am I going to have that heart attack, blood pressure, blood sugar, right? Or maybe you're at the point in your journey where your thoughts are a little bit more cliche. Maybe they're not as super triggering, but maybe they're just general worries about things you can't control, right? We still consider those intrusive, and if you're not fully recovered, those thoughts that are more cliche but not necessarily that huge will still give you that anxious reaction. So, some examples that we can use there is, relationship type stuff. What if my girlfriend doesn't love me? What if my boyfriend doesn't love me? I've heard that one before. What if I'm not good enough? These are some more cliche, everyday type worries. But if you're sensitized, you know that they still cause somewhat of a trigger, and we still do call those intrusive. So, my main point is whether you're dealing with, oh, I'm going to lose my mental sanity, or I'm physically going to have some sort of health problem, or I'm worried about my girlfriend, I'm worried about my boyfriend, I'm worried about my marriage, I'm worried, whatever the theme of these negative intrusive thoughts are, right? Whatever the theme of these negative intrusive thoughts are, here's where you make your absolute crucial mistake. Here's where you make your absolute crucial mistake. And I'm here to tell you, this is why you keep yourself in the cycle, right? You know that we've got two main keys: live your life, stop fighting with it all. The stop fighting with it all is where I see a lot of people fuck up. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it's where I fucked up the most. It's simple enough to tell somebody, live your life. Okay, that makes sense. Just do shit, right? Just do shit you would normally do. But the stop fighting with it all is where a lot of people fuck up. Okay? And here's how they fuck up. When they have the thought, now this is important, I need you to absorb this. When you have the thought, listen up. The first thing that you want to do, and the first thing that you do out of habit, is to get up in your head and follow them down the rabbit hole with worry. What does that look like? Let's use one of the more cliche examples. I don't know why I'm using the term cliche. I guess I mean just everyday worry examples. Let's use one of those. Oh, my wife doesn't love me. My husband doesn't love me, right? And the first thing that you do is you jump right up there like a dog chasing a bone, and you start that mental argument. You say, no, 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 no. My husband does love me. Let me give you all the reasons why my wife or my husband loves me. Let me tell you all the evidence that I've gathered. Let me tell you why that's wrong. You start arguing with it. You start following it. You're not treating it as irrelevant. You're treating it as highly important, and then you wonder why it has so much power. And then you wonder why your nerves pop off. And then you wonder, right? We know that worry activates the stress response. That can never be undone, right? We can never take that fact away. Worry activates the stress response. That fact cannot be undone. It's true. There's no debating that fact. Worry activates the stress response. There's no erasing that. That's just fact, Jack, right? So when you get up there and you try to argue with these thoughts and you follow up with them, right? And you try to prove your point, you try to fight your case, you try to present all the evidence that you can to these thoughts, right? You are making them stronger and you are activating your stress response, right? So what we have to start doing if we want to heal is treat these thoughts like this. And I'm going to give the same example again. You're sitting there, you're chilling, you're minding your own business. Thought comes in, my husband, my wife doesn't love me. Instead of jumping up there and following that, you've got to notice it, and your only response should be something along the lines of, "Oh well," right? Oh well. 2 seconds later, you might notice that you start following it. Okay, yeah, blah 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 blah. No, 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 no. No, you know what? Oh well. Oh well. Gonna go back to cooking. Gonna go back to doing this. Gonna go back to doing that. Right? Oh well. Oh well. The more you try to think your way out of this, the more you try to think your way out of this, the further and further away you're going to get from where you want to be. Why? Because again, worry activates the stress response. So you got to be vigilant. You have got to stay on top of yourself, which means when these thoughts come, you say, okay, you don't actually have to say this, but you need to be in the mindset of, okay, I accept that thought, but oh well, right? I accept that thought, but oh well. Is that going to make you feel on top of the world right away, chat? You know the answer to that question. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that thought comes in quick and it gives you some physical symptoms. Maybe that thought comes in quick and it gives you a lot of physical symptoms. Maybe it makes you highly uncomfortable. But we do not want to follow it down the rabbit hole. A lot of you are well, I don't know about a lot of you, but I know there's some of you that I know personally that are pretty far down the rabbit hole with these thoughts, right? And from the outside looking in, I'm telling you that we have to get you out of that rabbit hole. And to do that, you've got to stay on top of your own reactions to these thoughts. You've got to stay on top of it. And what I mean by staying on top of your own reactions to these thoughts is you've got to stay on top and hold yourself accountable for whether or not you add to them. Now, this brings me to a point that I really want to talk about. So I tell people, when you get the thought, respond with, oh, well, don't go any further down that road. Just say, oh, well, cut your worry short. If you notice that you are mentally starting to go down that road, down that path with the thoughts, you got to pull yourself back and say, oh well, not going to go down that road. A compulsion is worry. That is one of the biggest compulsions that exist. So you have to cut your worry short. Now, this brings me to a point that I really want to address. A lot of people would hear that and they say, okay, this is going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to stay on top of myself. I'm going to have to hold myself accountable. I'm going to have to cut my worry short. But I understand that. That's easy enough to understand. When I notice myself following these thoughts down the rabbit hole about my recovery, about my marriage, about my anxiety, about my symptoms, just pull myself back, cut it short, say, oh, well, go back to living, right? Right? I can understand that, Wonder Bro. That's going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to do it probably a million times a day, but I can understand that. But Wonder Bro, I've got one question, right? Is that not me fighting with the thoughts, Wonder Bro? And we say, no, that is you cutting out the worry. You have to understand that what you're doing now is fighting with the thoughts. Don't you get it? When you sit there and argue with the thoughts and try to prove yourself and try to present your case to the mind and try to present your evidence and yada yada yada, that is the fight. To catch the fight and cut it out and say, oh well, and just repeat that to yourself a million times a day if you need to, instead of doing the worry and just, oh well, back to living, that's cutting out the fight. That's not a fight. It might feel like a fight because it takes effort. But the fight is what you're doing now. And what I'm trying to get you to do is to work on no longer doing that, no longer in having the fight, right? So a lot of people say, well, Wonder Bro, if I have to stay on top of this, you tell me live my life. And when these thoughts come, just say, oh, well. And if I catch myself going down the worry hole, right, I've got to pull myself back and just say, nope, oh, well, nope, 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 oh, well, don't care. Don't care if it happens, right? And then get back to living. If that's what you're telling me to do, Wonder Bro, are you sure that's not a fight? I say, yes, I'm sure that's not a fight. What you're doing now is a fight. Don't you get it? That's why you are where you are, right? How well is that working out for you? What you're doing now is a fight. I know it kind of feels like a fight when you're having to catch these thoughts all day long and just say, oh, well, don't care. Let it happen, right? And then get back to living. That kind of feels like a fight because it feels like you're getting involved. But understand, you're getting involved with breaking the bad habit. That's what you're getting involved with, right? That's what you're getting involved with. So you got to understand what you're currently doing now by trying to argue with the thoughts, fight with the thoughts, yada, yada, yada. That is the fight. That's the fight, and that's what you've been doing for a long time, right? That is the fight. What I'm telling you to do, even though it feels like a fight because you're having to get involved a little bit, it's you're breaking the habit of the fight. So, yes, you're breaking the bad habit. You're having to catch these worry and say, you know what? Oh well. You're having to cut your worry short, right? Oh well. I'm not telling you to come at it and say, oh God, don't think that, don't think that. I'm telling you just to say, oh well, oh well. Just nonchalantly, oh well. I'm not telling you to run around all day, oh God, don't think. You're still going to have the thoughts. And I'm not telling you to deny that. I'm telling you to accept that. But I am telling you that when you notice you start to follow them, which is to add to them, that's when you've got to catch yourself and say, oh, well, right? Right? So, again, I'm not telling you to deny the thoughts. I'm telling you to fully accept them. But I am telling you that you got to hold yourself accountable and you've got to cut your own worry short. And no, that's not a fight. What you're doing now is the real fight. When you argue with these thoughts and you follow them down the rabbit hole and you play it out and play it out and play it out, that's the fight because you're trying to do something about it. You're trying to problem solve. You're trying to rationalize. You're trying to use logic. We want you to cut that out and use oh well, right? So what you're doing now is the fight, and what I'm asking you to do, if you choose to do so, this is up to you. If you choose to do so, what I'm asking you to do is to drop the fight, catch those thoughts, catch the worry rather, right? That's a better way to put it. Catch the worry when you start to follow those thoughts and just say, you know what, oh well, right? That's what I'm asking you to do. Yes, it takes effort. Yes, it takes effort. And no, it's not a fight. What you're doing now is the real fight. And it's got to go, right? It's got to go. It's got to be stomped out. There's no room for it anymore in your life. If you want to heal, you got to stop trying to problem solve all these thoughts, right? And I just finished telling you why this is the way to go. I just finished telling you why this shit works. Because worry activates the stress response, right? And now it's up to you to do it, man, and it's going to take work. Oof. It's going to take work, and it's going to take a good bit of work, right? When I first started on my journey, I can't even begin to explain to you guys just how many times during my day, right, when I first started, that I would have to cut my worry short and say, oh well. 2 seconds later, I'm back up there following that shit again. No, 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 come back. Oh well, oh well. Just get back to cooking or whatever it is you were doing, right? So I can't begin to explain to you guys how many times I had to do that. And when people start to dedicate to that, that's when they fall in that common rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, this feels like so much work, I must be fighting. And it's like, no, it does feel like a lot of work and it's going to feel like a lot of work. That's not the fighting. What you're doing now is breaking the fighting, and that takes work, right? I know it kind of feels like a fight because you're having to get involved, but that's not the fight. The fight's what you're breaking, right? And it does take work and it does take effort, you know, on a very real level. A fact that can't be undone or denied is that worry activates the stress response. So you must stick to this if you want to give those nerves a break. Everybody in here can heal, but you got to stick to it. And yes, it takes a lot of damn work. So what are the two main keys? Just to kind of wrap this up nice and neat. What are the two main keys? Live your life. And while you're living your life, you've got to cut your worry short. You've got to. You've got to, right? Hey, hey, that tip, honestly, couldn't have come at any better of a time. Why is my alert box like clipping through my border? I need to move that up. That tip couldn't have come at any better of a time. Perfect timing on that one. We just wrapped up the stream. $6 tip from Beep Bop 5000 who says chicken nuggets. All right, I will take that. $6 tip from Beep Bop 5000, and all the tip note says is chicken nuggets. So there you go. Thank you for the first tip of the stream, man. I really appreciate it. You'll notice I'm not doing the I'm not doing the daily tip goal, streak goal, or whatever because I'm just doing like a birthday thing today, so we're gonna forget about these tip goals, strict goal today or whatever. We'll pick it back up tomorrow or whenever we stream again. But yeah, thank you so much for the $6 tip. I really really appreciate you. So we've got some comments that I didn't get to read. I was mid rant. Brittany says, I'm still having some physical symptoms, but I'm following the keys. I got a random stuffy nose and I started having some what if thoughts about COVID. Wanted so bad to go to Dr. Google, but didn't. Congrats on that, Brittany. You got to cut that worry short. Now, I will say there's nothing wrong with you going and getting tested for whatever if that's what you would like to do, right? I can't make that choice for you. If you'd like to do that, go do that, right? But then again, that's up to you. I am glad though that you didn't go the Dr. Google route because that usually leads to some pretty nasty worry. So what's up, Jamie? I hope I'm saying that right. It takes a lot of effort, but we'll get there. We just got to keep practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Dr. Claire Weeks love the word practice. I love the word practice. Arlene says, this is a great topic, so relatable to me. Much gratitude for you. I hope you enjoyed it, Arlene. Most importantly, I hope you take something from it. What's up, AC? AC says, you're making an anxiety video on your birthday. You're a real one. I just needed some energy. I'm going to be honest with you. I just needed a little bit of energy. I needed some tacos. I thought I needed a nap, just needed tacos, needed some food, and I was like, okay, I'm good now. Let's make a video. Let's make a stream. So grateful to Wonder Bro and everyone. Better since finding him and his page. Sorry, I'm tongue tied today. Thank you so much for that, Brittany. I appreciate it. You got to keep at it. Got to keep practicing. That's what's going to make the difference. I agree, Jamie. Also, for anyone wondering, acceptance works for depression too. I know I don't address the topic of depression a whole lot on the channel. You got to understand, though, right? It's not because I've never dealt with depression. I have. For a lot of people, they can kind of go hand in hand. But it's not that I've never dealt with depression. It's that when I first started making videos, I was like, okay, do I want to focus on this or do I want to focus on that? I'm like, well, I've got way more, I guess, knowledge dealing with the topic of anxiety, so that's what I'm going to theme my channel around. But you're absolutely correct when you say that acceptance works for depression too, because you got to think. What is depression? It is a state of, I guess you could say, sadness, and this is fueled by all of the negative worry that you do. Very negative worry that's usually aimed at yourself. So, absolutely, cutting that worry short is going to help you with that as well. Happy birthday, Wonder Bro. Haven't been on in a long time because I felt great lately, but I wanted to say happy birthday. Danny, that is awesome. You have come so far from the first time I seen you in my chat, and yes, I do remember you. So that is amazing. I'm happy for you, Danny. Thank you for the happy birthday. Really appreciate it. Happy birthday, Wonder Bro. Thank you, Gina, for all the cakes. There we go. What type of tacos? Okay, so I don't want to call myself a picky eater, but I like things plain. Just going to be honest with you. I like things plain. So I was going to have the regular, which was just tacos, okay, and cheese. But I didn't have any sprinkled cheese, so I ended up just eating straight tacos, just hamburger meat and taco seasoning. But I ate like four of those things on soft shells, and they were really freaking good. They were really freaking good. I'm gonna switch over to the post stream, and we're gonna get some music going. I always have thoughts that last year follows my best months and this year we're going to be bad. Yeah, so whatever thoughts you have, you got to understand, Arnold, whatever thoughts you have, it does not matter. If they are negative in nature, if they are intrusive negative thoughts, thoughts that just pop up. Oh God, you were so much better last year than this year. Oh God, are you doing this acceptance thing right? You've got to understand that if you do want to do acceptance right, you have to say oh well to those thoughts and you can't go down that rabbit hole. You can't, right? And nobody can do that for you. So you got to understand that the context of the thoughts is not relevant. The context of the intrusive thoughts is not relevant. So you're getting hung up because you're making them relevant. You're saying to yourself, oh God, that intrusive thought was about recovery. That must be super important. And then you go down that rabbit hole and you follow up with it for 6, 7, 8 hours at a time. And then you come in here and you say, Wonder Bro, my nerves are still tired. And I say, wonder why. Right? Right? You get where I'm going with this? Right? We on the same page here? We on the same page here? Okay, I'm gonna go watch a film, but thanks for the video and happy birthday, mate. I appreciate it, Brandon. Enjoy whatever it is that you decide to watch, and have a good day, dude. It's very tempting to go down that rabbit hole, Arnold. You gotta understand, it's very tempting, but you gotta stay firm. You gotta stay firm. Oh well. Damn, it's almost as intense as anxiety, but it's not really anxiety. Not sure if it makes sense. I'm glad you clarified. Are you talking about like the depression type of stuff? I saw a meme that said, "Don't fake it till you make it. Instead, face it till you make it." And thought of you. That's awesome. I like that. When it's bad, it's amazing. It's very tempting, guys. Not only is it very tempting to go down the path of these thoughts, which is to follow them instead of accepting them and just saying, oh well. Not only is it very tempting, but it's also a habit that you are in. So that is why we continue to say, all my recovered people in here, they continue to tell you it takes work. And the reason they continue to say it takes work, and the reason they continue to say it takes practice, is because it does, right? It does. It really does. Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan with the $4 tip. I'm Dirty Dan. Hey, Dirty Dan, I appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Can we get a shout out in the chat to our tippers today, which is going to be Beep Bop 5000. Interesting, very interesting choice of name there. And Dirty Dan with the $4 tip. He couldn't stand seeing the uneven birthday tips there, so he had to round it up for us. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Also, I want to give a shout out to AC because we did do that stream earlier where I was just like dying for food. Apparently, I thought it was a nap, but it was actually food I needed. And AC did tip me on that stream, so let's give a shout out to AC as well. I appreciate it because that stream, honestly, that stream's going to be deleted. It's useless. It's pointless. I sat there for 40 minutes yawning the whole time, so that stream will be deleted. But I still want AC to get some credit for that tip, so give her a tip. Give her credit for her tip. There we go. Yeah, just give her a tip. Give her a tip too while you're at it. Wonder Bro, I'm late. What's up, Sanchez? Welcome, dude. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. How to deal with intrusive feelings, things I used to enjoy and made me happy. The good feels got replaced by opposite feelings. So I'm going to cut you short right there. Right? I'm going to cut you short right there, and I'm going to address something right off the bat. You say how to deal with intrusive feelings, things I used to enjoy, and then you go on to tell me what you mean by that, right? First, let's understand something. We need you to cut the worry short when it comes to these intrusive thoughts, and the feelings will sort themselves. So as you get back to living life and you cut your worry short, which means no matter how tempting it is to follow these thoughts, you got to stop yourself and say, oh well, right? Right? You do that and you live your life, and the feelings will take care of themselves as a result of healing. So you're overcomplicating it when you say, okay, I've got to deal with intrusive thoughts and intrusive feelings. No, live your life, and when these thoughts come, be firm with yourself and cut the worry short, right? And continue living. Then the feelings will take care of themselves because you're going to be on a state of healing now. Because you're no longer activating the stress response with all the worry that you do. Since you're no longer doing that, you will heal. And as you heal, the feelings will take care of themselves, right? So accept the feelings, accept the thoughts, live your life, cut the worry short, and everything will fall into place, right? And everything will fall into place. You see what we're getting at? This whole acceptance thing is much more simple than it seems. However, it does take a lot of work. Does take a lot of work, and by work I mean basically just dedication and self-discipline, self-control, right? Yeah, huge shout out to all the tippers, man. I appreciate it. Give me a tip. Hello again, Wonder Bro. How's the birthday going so far? It's going pretty good. I honestly thought I was about to sleep most of it away because I just could not stay awake during that first stream. It was absolutely pitiful. But I ate and I got my energy, and I'm here to go. I'm ready to go. So thank you, Wonder Bro. No problem, Purple. Stop making it complicated for yourself, dude. It's not that deep, man. It's really not that deep, but it does take work. I thought all of your anxiety was mental. I wish all of my anxiety was mental. What do you mean? I had some of the worst physical symptoms. I was pissing in bottles at one point. Um, Nobody's anxiety. Can we just clarify this real quick? Nobody's anxiety is all mental. Right? That's not a thing. That doesn't exist. Somebody with anxiety, right? If we say somebody's got sensitized nerves, they are going to feel physical symptoms. There's no such thing as just anxiety being all mental, unless you're referring to someone who is now in the stage of recovery where the physical symptoms has faded and they're just dealing with thoughts. But here's the thing. Those thoughts wouldn't matter to that person if they weren't experiencing physical symptoms. So at that point, we pretty much consider them well on their way to recovery. But anybody who's in a state of recovering and not recovered is going to experience physical symptoms, right? So yeah, there's really no such thing as someone just having mental symptoms. If your nerves are tired, you are going to experience physical symptoms. It's going to happen, right? For anyone who need to hear it, acceptance/ERP works. You may have ups and downs, but eventually you will start to heal, and one day the thoughts and feelings will disappear, and you will start to feel normal. Exactly, Danny. You nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. Yeah, so I don't know. I think maybe in a way, I'm trying to make sense of that comment. Maybe in a way, $2 tip, $2 tip from Beep Bop. Thank you so much, Beep Bop, for the $2 tip. It says Beep Bop, motherfucker. I appreciate it, dude. that's actually what the tip note says. I shit you not. Beep Bop, motherfucker. So I appreciate that. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one. Maybe you were under the impression that when you said I thought all of your anxiety was mental, maybe you were under the impression that I just had intrusive thoughts but no physical symptoms. I don't know. If that was the case, I would have been perfectly okay with that. Right? And that's what recovery is. When you get to a point where the physical symptoms start to fade, we can say that your nerves is healing. And maybe you're still having thoughts, but they're not causing any physical reactions, so they're not that big of a deal, right? And we can officially say at that point that you're well on your way to recovery. So maybe there's just a misunderstanding there, but I had just about every physical symptom that you could possibly list. Just about every physical symptom that you could possibly list. So yeah, no confusion there. If it worked for me, it'll work for you. Don't worry about it. I don't want anyone out there thinking anything other than that. Yes, that's what I thought, that you just had intrusive thoughts. Well, if you just have intrusive thoughts without any physical symptoms, that wouldn't be any, you wouldn't care. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So that doesn't really exist. If you just had negative intrusive thoughts but no physical symptoms, you would not care. You would not be bothered. I definitely wouldn't have researched anxiety because there would have been no point. Right? There would have been no point. If I just had intrusive thoughts but no physical reaction, no anxiety symptoms, I would not have cared enough to research or be miserable. I would have just got on with life, right? Let's see. Happy birthday, my friend. I appreciate that, Asen. Thanks, dude. I'm just curious about this, why anxiety makes me sensitive about things. Because your nerves are sensitive. They're tore up. All that worries tore up your nerves, which makes you physically tired. We call that a sensitized nervous system, right? Who the fuck is Beep Bop? I really don't know. I really don't know. Jamie says smoking causes anxiety. I'm going to light a cigarette up just for you, Jamie. What were your physical symptoms exactly? Tell us. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, I definitely need a cigarette for this one. All right, so I don't normally give trigger warnings here on the channel because we should be cutting the worry short and accepting and living life. Trigger warnings don't happen around here, but I'm going to give a trigger warning for this one because I'm going to dive into my story a little bit. I'm telling you, if you don't want to hear it, you better not listen to it. If you're to the point where you can't cut out your worry and you're going to overthink the shit out of everything that I'm about to say, then you better tune out now. So, with that out of the way, my physical symptoms, like I said, you could pretty much list every physical symptom in the book. There's, of course, some that I didn't experience, obviously. It got to the point where I was pissing in 2-liter bottles because the adrenaline was pretty much a 24-hour thing, right? The adrenaline was pretty much a 24-hour thing. There was no break from the adrenaline. The adrenaline surge was 24 hours a day. I felt like I could jump out of a 16-story building pretty much every single day, along with the doom and gloom that's there that follows that adrenaline, right? Because I was freaking myself out. Also, disclaimer, all of this happened because I did it to myself. I did this to myself. Nothing did this to me, just like nothing's doing this to you, right? I did this to myself, and this is why I was so miserable, because I wasn't cutting that worry short. I was doing it to a very extreme degree. Eventually, the adrenaline was so strong 24 hours a day that I couldn't handle it anymore, right? I wanted to jump out of a window, but that apparently wasn't an option for me because I was like, you know what? I'm absolutely miserable. Jumping out of a window seems tempting, but I'm not going to. So it was just the 24-hour adrenaline that was there. I felt like I needed to run, but didn't know where I could actually run to. The doom and gloom, the sinking gut, right? The sinking gut, like something very fucking bad is about to happen. That was pretty much 24 hours a day. I got the muscle tension pretty heavily. I had stress hives from about my neck down to my feet. They were very long, gnarly looking stress hives, like I had been clawed to death by some sort of mythical creature, right? And I wasn't eating at that point. Of course, I had the heart racing, but that didn't really bother me that much because I didn't have much health anxiety. But I had the heart racing. I stopped eating at one point. I stopped eating completely at one point, and I wouldn't eat for about 3 or 4 days at a time. I ended up losing quite a bit of weight. I'd say it was close to about 50 pounds by the time it was all over. It also got to the point where I wasn't showering. I had dirt that was literally under my fingernails. I could take my finger, run it across my chest, and I would scrape dirt off myself. That's how nasty I was. I bet I went several months without ever taking a shower. Because at that point, like I said, I was completely bedridden. It was constant worry all day long that I wasn't holding myself accountable for. I was totally going down that path without holding myself responsible for it because I didn't know any better. But yeah, I stopped eating. I stopped showering. The physical symptoms were pretty much constant. I was doing it to myself. Didn't know that, but I was. I was nasty. I smelt. I was pissing in 2-liter bottles. Didn't really have to shit because I wasn't eating, but when I did have to shit, it was like the world was ending just to go to the bathroom, right? It was just absolutely horrible. Um, in fact, I don't know exactly how I was able to pull myself out of it. I would actually consider myself to be one of the worst cases. And I'm not saying nobody else has felt it. There's plenty of people who have felt the way that I felt back in the day. But I definitely was at the bottom of the barrel. I know that for a fact. You couldn't have added any more worry than I did. You couldn't have added any more worry than I did. Each day was a complete misery. It was a nightmare, and the physical symptoms were endless, right? I didn't realize, of course, now here's your disclaimer, I didn't realize that I was doing this all to myself. Didn't realize that I was doing this all to myself. You don't ever have to go down that absolutely fucking miserable path because of what you know now. And if you do go down that path, you got to realize you're doing it to yourself. If you're worrying all day long and you're not cutting that worry off and just saying, oh well, right? Then that's on you. And you got to take responsibility for that. Everything that I went through in my past was completely 110% self-inflicted. There was nothing outside of me doing that to me. All of that was self-inflicted, right? So there you go. That's my story. There's about 12 people probably out there having a panic attack right now. But that's good. That is good exposure, and you need to stop worrying about it. You got to cut that worry short. When you notice that you start to do the worry, you got to say, oh well, right? You got to say, oh well. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where are we at, chat? I know I missed a ton of comments there. Were you convinced you would die? I wasn't so convinced that I would die physically as much as I was convinced that I was going to die mentally. I was going to experience some sort of insanity, some sort of breaking point. That was my fear, but it's all the same. It's all the same at the end of the day. Let's see. I've missed a ton of comments. Ton of comments. A little bit of both, Arnold. A little bit of both, to be honest with you. So there you go, guys. If I can come back from that, you guys can come back too. And I'll tell you what made a difference. What made a difference for me, right, was holding myself accountable. And when I noticed I was following the thoughts, even if it was 3 million times a day, I had to say, oh well, and cut it short. Even if I had to do that 3 million times a day, I had to stop going down the worry route. I had to start using acceptance, right? And that's what took me from that absolute hellhole to where I am today. So if that can do that for me, I recommend you get started. Defile not thy temple. Defile not thy temple. I will write that down somewhere as soon as I find my lighter. Mine too, going crazy. My counselor would, Maddie, a crazy person doesn't know they're crazy. Yeah, you know, most of the time they just try to reassure you, but you got to put in that work that we just talked about, right? That's the important part. Let me see. Happy birthday, dear Chris. I appreciate that, Kevin. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you, Kevin. Did you hit rock bottom and then decided, fuck this shit? With panic, yes, but with sensitization, it was more of a long, drawn-out process where I eventually had to hold myself accountable. One day I said, you know what? I'm going to actually have to do this. Nobody's going to fucking come down from the clouds and do it for me. So I was like, I got to do it. I got to do it, man. Every time these thoughts come, I got to say, oh well, I got to cut this worry shit out no matter how tempting it is. I got to do it, man. I got to do it. Hey, Mom of 8 with the $20 tip says, happy birthday, Chris. Thank you for streaming on your birthday. Someone I love really needs to hear this. Well, I appreciate that, Mom of 8. Thank you for all of your tremendous support. You've always been very supportive here on the channel, and I do appreciate it. Thank you for the birthday tip. Can we give Mom of 8 a huge shout out in the chat, guys? Thank you so much. What's that put us at today? 32. Thank you guys so much for that. Whatever we have, right? Whatever we have when we end the stream, I'm gonna do my best to do something with it that's birthday related. I'm gonna treat myself somehow. I'm gonna spoil myself a little bit. Let's see. No, I don't. Okay, in all seriousness, here for a second. Okay, hear me out. I don't want to give. I don't want you guys to give Jamie too much shit. Sounds like a good dude. He's just worried about me. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it, and he's not wrong. Smoking's not good for you. He's not wrong. But somebody said you might be on the wrong channel, bro. Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate the concern, though, Jamie. Seriously, I'm just messing with you, dude. That's what I do. I pick on people every now and then. Don't take it personally. Style Alert with the $10 tip says, happy birthday, Wonder Bro. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for spoiling me today. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to try to use whatever we get today on something fun. I'm going to put it towards something fun, spoil myself a little bit. Let's see. Eventually, Jamie gave up and said, never mind, light him the fuck up. I don't care anymore. He said, you know what? You know what? Fuck it. Just light them up. Hey, Jamie. On a serious note, like I said, we're just picking on you. That's what we do around here, and I appreciate the concern, and I am proud of you for being able to kick the habit. That's awesome. Congrats. 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 Yes, yes. Show some love to Mom of 8. Beat bop style alert. Probably more than that, Arnold. I would say, in all seriousness, probably way more than that. You're lowballing me, Arnold. You're lowballing me. Who was it? Who was it that asked to hear a little bit about my physical symptoms that led to that big rant? Was it Saw Alert? I do appreciate that comment. I'll tell you why I don't bring it up more often than I do, right? It's because I don't want to scare people. But at the same time, it's important to let people know you can come back from the absolute bottom just by cutting that worry short. So, it's kind of like I feel two different ways about it. You know what I mean? I feel two different ways about it. $2 tip from Beat Bop again. Says I took a shit in Home Depot. And a Home Depot display toilet. Dude, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, man. Appreciate it. Sanchez coming in with the $20 tip on top of Beat Bop's $2. Says happy birthday in all caps, dude. Thank you so much, Sanchez. I appreciate you. Holy shit. I'm lost. What does that even put us at, chat? Guys know my basic math struggles sometimes. Puts us at 64, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do something with that. I'm gonna try to do something with that to spoil myself somehow. It is my birthday. I'm gonna enjoy it. So, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Let's show some love to these guys in chat. And don't forget about AC. AC did tip on our earlier stream, which I'm gonna delete because it was just me yawning for 40 minutes straight. So let's not forget to show some love to AC as well. But AC, Sanchez, Beat Bop, the Style Alert, Mom of 8, Dirty Dan. Let's give a round of applause to these guys, man. I appreciate it. $5 tip from Sam that says happy birthday. Sam, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you. What's that put us at, chat? 69. There we go. Perfect. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. So who is that? Who's everybody? Sam, AC, Sanchez, Beat Bop, Style Alert, Mom of 8, Dirty Dan. I think that's everybody. I hope it is. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. I know people probably freaked out hearing how you healed gives everyone hope. Yeah, so you guys can see why I'm kind of like, I've got mixed feelings about telling not necessarily too much of my story, but talking about my story too much. That's a good way to put it. I've got my story videos up. They're uploaded. Anybody can watch them. But I don't talk about them all the time because I'm back and forth. On one hand, I don't want to freak people out. On the other hand, I do want to talk about it because it lets people know no matter how low you go, as long as you cut that worry short and hold yourself responsible for that, right, you can come back from it. So it's like mixed emotions on that one. Hey, well, you're always welcomed here, Jamie. Always welcomed here. Always, always, always. Buy some fucking sprinkled cheese. That's what I need to do. I had to eat plain ass tacos today. They were still really good. I'm not gonna lie. Whether I had cheese or not, they were still really good. Happy birthday, bro. I appreciate that, Tony. I think you slipped in the stream earlier and I missed your comment. I meant to address that. But thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. Nice tip number. Yes, it's perfect. Perfect. You gotta remember how tempting it is to want to add worry to these thoughts, man. You gotta cut that shit short, though. You gotta switch it to an oh well whenever you start following these thoughts with worry. You've got to switch it to an oh well. No matter how tempting it is to go out and explore all the possibilities in your mind, you've got to cut that shit short. You do. Cheese on tacos? What kind of tacos are these? Is it odd that you put cheese on? That's common. That's a thing, right? Cheese on tacos. Everybody knows that. Where are you from? Style Alert. where they don't put cheese on tacos. That's what I want to know. I agree with you. I agree with you, AC, and that's why I leave my story videos up. Um, but yeah, I've got like mixed feelings about it. I'll always leave my story videos up so people can watch them that want to watch them and get motivated, right? But I don't make it a point to try to purposely scare people with it. So it's like it's weird. It's weird. With air conditioner. Fuck, I live in Europe and I've never ate a taco. That's the real tragedy here. Let's be honest. You know, we can talk about anxiety all day long. We can talk about whatever, depression. We can talk about physical symptoms, mental symptoms. We can talk about this shit all day long. But the real tragedy here, chat, is that Arnold's never had a taco in his life. I think that's the real tragedy. Guess it's different for everyone. Marijuana and the effects of marijuana is 110% different for everybody. There's no straight answer on that. There's definitely no straight answer on that. Happy birthday, bro. Mine's tomorrow, 21st. Well, happy birthday, dude. Right back at you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, dude. Even acceptance can't help me on that. You're right. You're right. We've got to figure it out somehow. We've got to get you a taco somehow. Somehow. Blueberries I'm eating taste like mothballs. Are you sure they're not mothballs? Have a great birthday tomorrow, Slow Jam. Yes, have a great birthday, dude. Which video games are you playing nowadays, Wonder Bro? Good question. I haven't been doing a whole lot of gaming here recently. I don't know why I've kind of fallen off with it. I guess I've just been really busy. And it's funny because I never thought I would get to the point in my life where I actually say that and mean it. But I mean it. I've been really busy. Um, you know, between just doing stuff with the channel and working with certain people and you know, everything that's going on in my life now, I've got a lot more responsibilities on my plate these days after everything that happened recently. Um, and, you know, in one way it sucks, but in another way it's like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So I haven't been doing a whole lot of gaming recently, but it's something I would like to make some time for, and I might just do that today. It is my birthday after all, so maybe I'll do some gaming. Maybe I'll do some gaming later or something. Not the best country, but Transylvania is beautiful. Danny, like you don't even had depression but fear about it and gets feeling like that. In a way, Arnold, that worry can lead to all sorts of distorted thinking. Keep in mind, Don, that it's only considered a setback if you start to add the worry. If you're not holding yourself responsible for that worry and cutting that worry short, no matter how tempting it is to do it, you got to cut it short. So it's only a setback if you go back to bad old habits and continue to do that. Then it's considered a setback, right? But it's not a setback if you are, you know, confronted with a bunch of intrusive thoughts and anxious feelings. As long as you don't resort back to old bad habits, it's not what we would call a setback. It's what we would call a retraining day, a retraining moment. In fact, you're going to be tested like that. In fact, it's going to happen. In fact, you need it to happen because that's when the brain's going to learn, right? So don't get down on yourself by labeling it, saying every time I don't feel good, it's a setback. Not necessarily, not unless you're resorting back to bad habits. It's difficult, a long history thing. I got you, Arnold. I got you. I'm going to go out and enjoy the perfect weather today. Peace and blessings all. Jamie, I've never seen you in chat before, so I just want to say welcome. I also want to say we pick on people around here. It's what we do. We're like a little family here. So if you're going to be a part, expect us to pick on you from time to time. It's just what we do, right? We just joke around here. So I do appreciate you tuning in though. And if you want to stick around, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. If you think the live chat is a shit show from time to time, you should tune into the Discord every now and then. You should tune into the Discord every now and then. It's a fucking madhouse. I mean that in the best way possible. I mean that in the absolute best way possible. I really don't know what I would do without the Discord. You guys crack me up. How old are you now, Wonder Bro? Let's play a game. Let's see if anybody can guess my age. Let's see if anybody can guess my age. I am just as confused on that as you are, AC. Just as confused as you are on that. It looks like everybody's gonna win it, except for AC. AC definitely does not win it, but everybody else is gonna win it. Maddie's gonna win it. Kevin wins it. Style Alert wins it. AC definitely does not win it. Max or MX rather, off by 1 year. And off by 1 year. But 28, that's it. You guys got it. You guys got it. 56. 56, she says. Alright, 30. Don't put me there yet. Come on. Come on, I still got 2 good years left. I've still got 2 whole freaking years left before I hit that dreaded number. Don't put me there yet. Don't put me there yet, man. $19. We're going with Arnold's answer. Arnold's correct. Arnold wins it. Down. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Don't tell me. Wait a minute. Don't tell me that I forgot how old I am. I'm going to Google this. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, no. Wait, it's got to be 28. It's 28, right? How old am I if I was born September 20th, 1993? It's got to be 28, right? It's 28. Yeah, it's 28. I was right. I was right. It's 28. Okay. For a second there, I thought I was 29. Okay, I'm 28, chat. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. I'm 28 years old. All right. Mystery solved. I officially know how old I am. I officially know how old I am. Pretty sure it's 28. It's 28. Yeah, I googled it. I googled it. I googled it, chat. Wait, you actually have 69 in tips? I do. I do actually have 69 in tips. Old age is getting to him, says Mike. You know, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. If I don't even know how old I am. The old age must be getting to me. Must be getting to me. All right, guys. All right, chat. I have loved today's stream. I think it was a good one. You guys really cracked me up, and you spoiled me a bit today, like you normally do. So, thank you guys so much for that. We just passed that hour mark. I'm gonna get out of here, go celebrate the rest of my birthday, and I just want you to know, on a serious note, I know we joke around a lot here on the channel. I love it, but on a very serious note, right? If you want to get out of this thing, if you want to reclaim your life, if you want to take it back from anxiety, you have to catch that worry. When these thoughts come, and I know they lead to very real physical symptoms, but when these thoughts come, when that anxiety is there, if you notice that in your mind you start to follow these thoughts down the rabbit hole, you have got to cut that worry short. You have got to cut that worry short, even if it's, 200,000 times a day, and you got to get back to living. That is the two main keys in a nutshell. You got to do it. It takes work. It takes effort. I'm not asking you to fight against the thoughts. I'm asking you to stop doing that. That's what we're doing here. I'm asking you to stop doing that. But stopping doing that takes work, right? It does, and it's going to take effort. But you are capable of it. You are absolutely capable of it. You just got to get started. You just got to get started. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It's been a good one. Thank you so much for everything, and I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon.